Well, that's going to do it for our Sunday survey results. Now we're going to jump into the Q&A with Alex and Kevin from the home Discord. So can you guys give us a little background on who you are?
So yeah, my name's Kevin. I go by Hogie on the Discord. Married, got 2 dogs, 2 cats, some fish. One of the founding members of the home gym Discord. Been lifting since I was in 7th grade. 32 now, so it's quite a while. There was a big gap in between there where I stopped lifting and started eating a lot of food. Eventually cut that out, went back to lifting, got serious about it in 2018. I've heard this said by a lot of the guests on your guys' podcast in the past, but I started out with starting strength with, like a lot of others did. It was kind of my first real introduction into powerlifting and kind of that style of training. And I've just kind of stuck with it ever since. Yeah, that's me.
And I'm Alex. I'm Brick on the Discord. Also, kind of there when it first happened and got together. As far as lifting goes, I did, pretty much every mistake everyone makes, in high school, just doing random bodybuilding stuff. And then college didn't really change much. But actually, when we locked down and we actually got the server together, that's when I started getting into the powerlifting and things like that. So I had some kind of foundation, but nothing serious. As a rite of passage, I did starting strength. I knew I was not going to stick with it, but I was like, well, if everyone else did it, then I got to at least try this thing. And from there, it's just been, different. I've basically been mooching off the server with every program someone posts. Some guys will make their own and that kind of thing. But I've just been enjoying lifting through that. As far as personal life, married, kid on the way, and that's really it.
Awesome. Well, why don't you guys give us a quick definition or explanation, like what is Discord for those who don't know?
Oh, man, that's a loaded question. So Discord is like a community-based voice chat application. It's similar to like Microsoft Teams or Slack, if any of you use that through work. But yeah, it's basically like an online community building tool where you can chat with other people in real time. We have different channels based on different subject matters. So, in our Discord, for instance, we talk about powerlifting, bodybuilding, programming, nutrition, and the really big thing that I think people know us for is helping them find gear. Discord itself, it's funny thing is it's typically used for gaming. It's super, super popular in the gaming community for like groups to get together and communicate, amongst each other. We don't use any of the voice chat stuff for what we do. It's all just really the real time nature that's been beneficial to us. So. Alex, I don't know if you want to build on it a little bit.
Yeah, basically it's a giant group chat, but instead of everyone talking in the same space, you have your own little corners to go to. And then aside from, workout stuff, we do have just regular, we have like a Wordle channel and we have like all the regions and each one's kind of got its own flavor. Like East Coast is dads and houses and things like that. And then you have Canada who talks about politics, even though that's the only rule we actually enforce is no politics. So it's basically a huge group chat where everyone's just kind of shooting the shit. And also when we are working out or just we're getting ready to work out or something like that, you have that other piece that Kevin alluded to earlier. But yeah, it's basically just a huge hangout. I always thought of this as the social part of the gym for people who work out alone, is that, this is where everyone's hanging out and just kind of catching up on things.
Awesome. So what would you say you enjoy the most about Discord?
Yeah, I would say for me personally, I sort of grew up, so many different elements of my life have been done online. I moved away from home when I was 20 years old, so all of my friends, all of my family, the only way for me to connect was with them was online. I actually met my wife online. So when the pandemic happened, Discord sort of introduced a unique way for me to connect with other people where I'd lost all of that. And for me, I just kind of gravitate naturally towards that. I'm comfortable meeting and talking and building relationships with people online. So I guess that's sort of one of the things I really personally enjoy is just building those relationships, building that community aspect and, just kind of getting to dive into it.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that we've kind of done here, but what started as just like, I need a barbell, who knows where they are, someone tell me where it is, has really created a lot of really deep relationships that I didn't think you could do. Like I didn't really game or anything like that. And not like I was, captain of the football team either, but I was, I just didn't really do this. And it was really cool to kind of get into it and see it happen. I was actually at Kevin's wedding and, we talk to guys all the time and it's really unbelievable. Actually, my wife knows like some of their usernames just from conversations and things like that, just because that's how often we're talking to each other.
That's awesome. Are you guys able to tell the founding story of the Home Gym Discord?
Yeah, I took some notes, so I wouldn't forget too many things. I'll spare you guys some of the weirder details because it's definitely been an adventure. But as far as Discord goes, anyone can make a server. Anyone can, you could make it and have just yourself in it, or, you could have 10 people in it. You don't have to make it a thing where people join it. So we started out actually on the Home Gym subreddit. And Reddit is not very quick. You have to make sure you're refreshing the page to see new comments. And in the beginning of the pandemic, stock was nearly impossible. We did notice, though, that Rogue restocked every day around like 10:30 in the morning Eastern time. So we're always on there refreshing around then. And at one point, someone just said, we should make a Discord server. This one guy, which was literally, not literally his username, it was that one guy, Impulse made, hit the plus sign, made it. We all joined it. We had like 200 people going every day, 10:30. We're logging on. And, at that point, it was very much, I saw the high temp bumpers came in and you'd post the link and people would buy it if they wanted it. You'd be tagging everyone. It was just chaos. Basically, that guy stepped down and gave this other guy whose name was D'Amelio, and I'll try to limit the usernames I say because that's going to sound like Game of Thrones at a certain point. He owned the server, so there's got to be one owner who kind of keeps track of the whole thing. When that happened, we grew to 11,000 people. We had bots keeping track for us and would post automatically. You could subscribe, like I'm looking for a bar, so you had the barbell notification, that kind of thing. And it was really awesome. And then even from there, we had like weird bots who'd track like PlayStations on Amazon. And at one point we were into coins from the U.S. Mint, but I'm going too far that way. But basically, we grew to 11,000 people. Everything was great. We were hosting powerlifting meets. We did charity events, this whole thing. And the guy who owned it decided to delete the whole thing. So that was, a little bit of drama there. And now we're actually rebuilding. So we're at about 2,500 people. And along the way, great people have kind of come in and out, came back. We've got a ton of, guys that you probably know, a ton of manufacturers on there. And like Kevin said earlier, it's great that you can, like, he literally talks to the owner of Rep One Strength to be like, hey, I think you should do this with your app, that sort of thing. And the guy's not just like, shut up, idiot. Like, they actually talk about it. And we have this great community now. And although we're a little bit smaller than we were, there's still tons of active users. I wake up in the morning and there's all these unread messages and I just don't read them, but don't worry about that part. And yeah, so the history is we kind of built this thing up from the pandemic. The need was to get stock and it kind of developed from there. Now that stock's not really a big issue, now we're more focused on actually, using the stuff that we bought for 2 years. And it's been a lot of fun through the whole process.
Yeah, I like the part, me and you have very similar notes for the founding story. I liked the part where you talked about the chaos because I think it's the closest I'll ever be to having like worked on the New York Stock Exchange. This is what it was like. Every morning people would log in about 9:30, 9:45, kind of shoot the breeze. And then 10 o'clock would hit and everybody, like, it would just kind of go silent for a little bit, waiting for that stock to hit. And as soon as it did, man, you'd have 100 people just start linking. And, there's a feature in Discord where you can tag somebody and it sends them alert. You would get, just a ton of alerts to your cell phone from somebody saying, hey, that monster bench that you wanted finally restocked, or, the calibrated plates that you've been waiting months on. I think it was the 20 kilogram plates that were out of stock forever. You could get the rest of the set, but the 20 kilograms you couldn't get. So it was just absolute chaos. But it was so much fun. I feel like I've said this so many times. I sort of missed the beginning of the pandemic. I feel like my experience was very different than normal people. I loved that period of time. It was so fun kind of building it up and just watching that environment sort of explode for the first few months.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I always felt like at like 9 to 9:30, it was like, you get like the calm before the storm. Like we're all sitting around like a campfire, like just talking. And then all of a sudden that would hit and it would just go blow up. It was awesome.
That's awesome. You guys kind of branched off from the Reddit pages. Is there any beef that exists between Reddit and Discord?
Well, I mean, officially, no. The big issue is that guy D'Amelio that deleted the server when we hit 11,000 is a mod on Discord. So I wouldn't say we don't like the subreddit. We're completely fine with them. We've actually had meetings with them. We met with Tatty Waffles, which is a moderator on Discord if you don't know, on Reddit if you don't know. And then the Gray Matter Lifting, he goes by a different username on Reddit. He's a mod there too. So we actually met with them to explain, like, listen, we're not mad at you guys. You didn't do anything. It's just this one idiot who decided to blow up the place because someone called him obtuse, and now it's this whole thing. But so no, the whole Reddit, no. I mean, I'm still on it. I'm looking at the AMAs. I'm looking at posts and whatnot. But really, just one person, and it's not because he's a mod. It's because he deleted what we worked 2 years for. But that's about it. If that makes sense, I think that's justified.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. I don't know that there's beef with anybody. I will say there's been a couple of, I don't know, awkward interactions. One thing that I found particularly interesting with that situation where, the server got, we were told it was transferred, but really it was deleted. One of the things that sort of came out of that, though, the moderators on the subreddit seemed like, the Discord's sort of its own thing. We don't really care. Luckily, it was actually Joe Gray and Dr. Tatty Waffles from the subreddit that sat down with us, and we kind of talked it through. But I just found it real interesting that there wasn't more interest, I guess, in that whole situation from their perspective. Obviously for us, getting our server blown up sucked, but yeah, it was really just Joe Gray was really the only one that would kind of talk to us directly, and then the rest of them kind of said, we don't care.
Yeah, it was a little jarring that, because we cared so much about it, and then you kind of turn around. It's like leading a parade and no one's behind you, and you're like, all right, guys, let's go. You're like, wait, where did everyone just go? What happened?
Yeah.
That was a little weird, but it worked out in the end.
How long ago was that?
February, right?
Yeah,
end of February.
February.
It was a wild week. That was actually the same week that the situation in Ukraine started. So, it was tough to kind of get, unglued from the computer there for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was actually my February. I'm a teacher. I think that was my February break, and I spent that entire week just getting things back up and running, and nerd alert, but it's what I did.
Yep.
Alex, you seem kind of like a primary Discord guy, but you read it as well. Kevin, what about you? Do you participate in both?
Yeah, less so now for sure. I think all of us sort of started on the subreddit. I will say I love Reddit for pretty much everything else, but when it comes to home gym, I'm on the Discord.
Gotcha. Are there true Reddit people, and then there's true Discord people?
Well, I think for a while there was, I remember they hated us for a long time. They thought that our bots were buying stock. So they thought we were going in and clearing out Rogue, which would be, I don't know how anyone would do that. So I remember for a while you'd go on the Reddit and they'd be like, those Discord guys suck. And we're like, what? We're trying to help you. Come on, join us. We'll show you how to get whatever you need. I think so. But nowadays, I think it's a little less rare. Actually, one of the guys was talking about it 2 days ago, about how he used to be on Reddit bashing us, and then now he's on both. That's
interesting. That's quite a I want to say that community exists, the two different sides.
This corner of the internet's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I know that my impression early on was that people just didn't kind of understand what we were trying to do, and like Alex said, I think there was a lot of sensitivity around buying and reselling, particularly in the middle of the pandemic. Our whole goal the entire time was really just, we want to get people connected, and Reddit just wasn't the right platform. It had nothing to do with the sub or anything like that. It's just, we at the time, I think we were trying to compete with the Rogue stock bot, which, a lot of people were using. And we were just trying to, help people get connected. Once people started to figure out what we were about, that helped. And then as stock started not being an option, that's when we sort of had to evolve a little bit too, and give people a reason to come and to stay. So.
Also, we started giving things away, which kind of helped too. Giving free equipment away helped a lot.
Yeah, explain that. What do you mean you were giving free equipment away?
So I think when we hit 10,000 members, was that before the COVID Classic, the 10,000 thing, or after? Do you know?
It was before.
So when we hit 10,000 members, we ended up partnering with all the manufacturers. So I don't know if you guys are aware. As of today, we have Bear Steel, Bells of Steel, Bremy, Buffalo Bully, William Strength, Crandall, Griffin, Jimway, who actually made the Oni bar, or Oni, I don't know how to pronounce it. That was actually 4 members in our group. Iron Master, Irwin, Stray Dog, we have Kabuki, Rep 1, Cleva, Rep, and the list really goes on. Belt Fed Strength, I have to mention them. And then American Barbell's been extremely collaborative too. They're trying to get a bar together. I don't know how much we can say about that or how comfortable they are with it. But they got a group together. We have, oh God, I forgot the original question. What was it again?
You said
I went
you're
on the rant, I started
giving.
reading and I forgot.
Yeah, you said you're giving free equipment away.
Oh, right. So when we hit
Yeah.
10,000 members, we went to all these guys and we're like, hey, can you help us out? These people are buying stuff from you guys. Some people were buying things directly from the sales reps on the server. So actually, I think Kabuki gave away a transformer bar at that point. They gave away a couple of things, but that was the transformer bar. We had Griffin give a huge basket away. We had all these manufacturers give stuff away, and they didn't ask for anything in return. They were they're happy to be there, be involved, and then that was just for us hitting 10,000 people. There was no requirement. Since then, we've hosted 2 powerlifting meets. We actually have a third one coming up in June. And at those, we gave away, we've given away Kabuki deadlift bar. I think someone had an option of what Kabuki bar they wanted. American Barbell's giving away bars. Chris from Belt Fed Strength's always extremely generous with the belts. But basically, a lot of the manufacturers chip in certain things, and then we're able to give it away at these things. I actually remember one time I went on Reddit to tell them we were giving away for 10,000. Then some guy got mad at me. I'm like, all right, well, if you want a free transformer bar, it's over here. You just got to show up.
Interesting. So you switched over to Discord because it was quicker to get the updates for the stock. What are some other primary differences between Discord and Reddit?
Yeah, so I think this doesn't actually only apply to Reddit. I think this sort of carries over into some of the Facebook groups as well. It's just my experience, even to this day, going onto the subreddit or going onto the Facebook, it's usually one of 2 posts. It's either somebody showing off their gym, which is great. That's what we all love to do. We want to show people what we've done and get, kind of inspiration for what we can do. And then the other thing is people talking about, that 1 in a million score that they found, that Ivanko chrome plates that they got for $200 off somebody who had no idea what they had. And that's about it. The conversations don't tend to go anywhere. You're not really building relationships with anybody. You're just, it's just kind of there doing, whatever. Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's usually the only thing that I would use it for. We have that element as well, but it's really, when you get into the Discord, it's, all right, you can talk to the guy and have a conversation with a large group of people that want to talk you through all of the different gym options that are out there, companies you may not have heard of. Yeah, just as one example, the J-Cup rollers have been a really popular thing for the last couple of years. Our group has really been interested. I think we were one of the first groups that was talking about the Irwin J-Cup rollers, sort of publicly and sharing out that, hey, these are really, really good. Ghost isn't your only option anymore, guys. So I think a lot of those conversations sort of happen organically, and Reddit, Facebook, they really don't operate the same way. A lot of it's just sort of these one-off posts. People make a comment, leave a like, and then they leave. This is more, let's get you engaged. We want you in the community. We want to talk to you. We want to help you through whatever you're trying to build. And I think that collaborative piece really kind of takes us above and beyond.
Yeah, exactly. Things just basically keep going because of this huge group chat.
Mutant Metals came on and actually posted his snapback rollers before he ever released them. It was like, what do you guys think about this? It was really cool to see that interaction. I don't know what other kind of platform you could do that with, where you could literally have a private focus group and just kind of get everyone's idea on things. I don't know if we'd be able to have done any of the online things that we've done without being able to just talk quickly. And I feel like we do nothing for weeks at a time, and then we start talking together, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, I got this manufacturer, and this is the T-shirt design. We start pulling everything together very quickly that way. Any kind of format where you're just kind of posting it, it slows things down. That's all it is.
I am on Discord every once in a while, and I do like it. I think it's just too hard to keep up unless you're there all day. But I do like it how the manufacturers really get involved, and even Ryan from Rep, he'll go in and back up his products or really get into a really hot topic on the Discord. And, there's plenty of other manufacturers that are doing the same. That's one thing that's really cool that you may not do on a Reddit channel that has hundreds of thousands. You might like the more passionate, smaller group. I know maybe you want to ultimately become a larger, but
it's something that, so there's a couple of things there. So we are very aware of some of the issues with sort of the new people and jumping in and being overwhelmed with just how quick it can be. So, we've been doing some work over the last couple months to sort of clean up the channels, make things a little bit easier. Now, when you join the Discord, there's more of a guided experience that sort of, it pops up a menu when you log in for the first time, and lets you sort of pick your path when you come in. I'm here for bodybuilding. I'm here for powerlifting. I'm here to find equipment. And so it sort of directs you automatically to the part of the Discord that is most likely to interest you from the get-go. But yeah, I mean, the point you brought up about Ryan's actually a really interesting one, because at the start of the pandemic, Rep Fitness was not super popular in the Discord. We sort of joked around for a little bit, calling them Rip Fitness, just because the shipping was a little bit of a problem. I fell victim to that more than once myself. But truth be told, once Ryan came in, a lot of the stigma around the brand really started to go away. He would talk through people. Their customer service was excellent. And, it sort of added a little bit of peace of mind to the, people going in, looking at the Rep brand. I think it did a lot of good for them in that community. And that's sort of been the case with a lot of these manufacturers where, a passion project for us. So we're not making money. We're not out here to show for specific brands or anything like that. We just want to connect people with the manufacturers and kind of give them, it's been beneficial for us because we kind of get to give that feedback and say, hey, Rep, it would be really cool if you guys had more, rack attachments, for instance. You've got these great ISO arms, but I can't do anything with them because, there's just, you haven't come out with any cool attachments like Titan or Rogue. So being able to give them that feedback and have that conversation one-on-one, I feel like we get really good feedback from them, and it's been super organic in that way. So That's awesome though.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, even American Barbell has been in there for a while, but then one day Phil joined, who owns it. And he was telling, he was going into knurling and all this stuff, and all these guys were geeking out about it. And now they're actually trying to build because I feel like a lot of people on the server say oh, the knurl could be more aggressive. And he actually took it to heart, and he was sending knurl samples to users and asking them what did you like better? What do you want this to be? And it's really cool to see that stuff. And as collaborative as it's been, we've actually had issues. I remember there's a brand, JD Gym Equipped. I don't know if you guys know them. They make custom parts for certain things. One of the things they did was the power block handle, the stainless steel one. So he was one of our users sent him a design to ask feedback, and the guy ended up just making them. And there's this whole big thing. We ended up having to ban him. It's just awkward. So it gets pretty tight knit. I think he's the only manufacturer we banned.
Who's this? Are they on Instagram?
So, JD Gym Equipped. So he was actually on the server, and then one of our users sent him a design to see if he could make it, and the guy was like, "No, I can't make that." And then all of a sudden, a month later, he's got it on his website. It was this whole big thing. So if you're going to buy power block stainless steel handles, try to find someone else, please. But yeah, it's been really cool to have that collaborative nature, on all aspects. And that thing with Ryan was excellent. It was right after everything had happened. And he came in, and you thought it was just going to be this awful, interaction, very abrasive. And people were giving him very pointed questions, and he was able to explain everything and come to some sort of solution with each member. He's very patient, and I thought that was very impressive.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of companies don't put in that kind of time. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so what is the Ice Cream Classic?
Yeah, so this is definitely a labor of love for me. So last year, we were celebrating sort of the 1 year anniversary of the Home Gym Discord. And, I had this idea, hey, let's do a powerlifting meet. Let's just see how it goes. And we kind of threw it together over the course of about a month. We got a couple of the manufacturers on the server to sponsor it and throw in some free prizes that we raffled off. And we decided, hey, this would be a really cool way for us to maybe raise some money. At the time, it was, I think it was India was getting hit with a really bad wave of COVID. We thought, hey, let's raise some money, send something out, whatever. So we did it. We threw together this online powerlifting meet, ended up raising initially about $3,000 that we donated to Project Hope for COVID relief efforts in India. At the powerlifting meet, one of the guys ended up tearing his bicep. We ended up raising a bunch of money for him to cover the surgery and the PT. The powerlifting meet itself, so we've kind of turned this into a server-wide joke. The original one was the COVID Classic. We did another one in December called the Winter Classic, and now we're doing the Ice Cream Classic. So there's always some form of classic, and it's all a little bit of a joke. It's we almost kind of treat it like the wrestling pay-per-views, like the SummerSlam and WrestleMania, that kind of thing. That's sort of the vibe that we go for. But the powerlifting meets themselves, I think it's one of the things that's particularly unique about Discord and works really, really well, in that we have people submit just like it's a real powerlifting meet. You have to weigh in the day of. You submit 3 attempts for each of the main lifts, squat, bench, deadlift. We give them a rule set ahead of time. It's very similar to I guess it's a hybrid of USAPL and USPA. And basically we say, hey, this is a great way for you to sort of dip your toes in, see if you're interested. Worst case scenario, powerlifting, maybe not what you want to do, but it's a great way for you to get into these raffles and potentially get some free stuff. And man, it blew up so much bigger than I think any of us really anticipated. For one, just the community aspect of Discord, the people that are there. I mean, right now we typically tend to have somewhere between 400, 500 active people at a time. In the past, when those events are taking place, it feels like the whole server is there and engaging in it because we're posting videos more or less live. You're getting to see people, go for these 1-rep maxes that, maybe they wouldn't do normally, or maybe they wouldn't have anybody kind of hyping them up under normal circumstances, but people just really come into it. They're getting hyped. You're seeing people chat and root for you, that kind of thing. So we're fortunate that some of our staff members are actually certified USAPL judges. So we've been able to leverage their knowledge and have them train people to actually do, real judging, looking at things like squat depth and bench press pauses, that sort of thing, give people feedback to, help them gain the confidence to maybe go out and try a real powerlifting meet and sort of expand their own horizons. We've seen exactly that. We've seen, for one, I think our first powerlifting meet, something like 75% of the people had never done a meet before. The second one, it dropped significantly. All of a sudden, it was 20% of the people had never done a powerlifting meet. A lot of these people went out. They went and competed in sanctioned USAPL and USPA events. We have one guy who, unfortunately, he came up, I think it was 5 kilograms short of making nationals this year. And, I think for a lot of these folks, it was just, some of them, they had been really serious powerlifters before. And then, with COVID, they had to step back. We gave them this opportunity to really jump back in and say, oh, you know what, I really am still passionate about this. This is what I want to do. So, we're perfectly fine being that stepping stone for people to get that confidence and go back out and compete. Our goal is just to give them the most, accurate sort of real simulation of what a meet would be like and would feel like. And then also just the community aspect of it. It's great for people to come together, root each other on, and, hopefully win something.
Yeah, it was cool. Awesome. Actually, in the last meet, the Summer Classic, basically I was doing a home renovation, so I wasn't able to really train that much. And when I got to my squats, I was getting closer and closer to 405, which I'd never hit at that time. And it was great having Kevin messaging me you better add 10 pounds. You got this. Do not give up. While you're going for the attempt, it hypes you up, and it's awesome. So it was really cool to all of a sudden you hit a big number. People start tagging you and cheering you on. It's great. And the live judging I think is awesome too. Just kind of getting that feedback really helps a lot of people, or even just the idea of training and peaking properly, and we're all kind of doing it together, so we're all kind of in the same mindset as it's happening. It's been really cool to see that whole thing just develop over this time.
Is the Ice Cream Classic the next one up, and when is it?
Yeah, so the event is June 9th through June 11th. It's completely through Discord. It's free to register. You can register at discord.gg/homegym. The way that it works, you get a private channel where nobody else can type in it. It's just you and the judges. You'll post your attempts, you'll get your feedback, and then once you're done posting your lifts, we open it up to the public so people can see and, kind of jump in and start hyping into it. So, it's one of those things where it's super chaotic. I think just jumping into it the day of it can be a little bit overwhelming trying to figure out what exactly is going on. But luckily, we've posted a ton of resources ahead of time. So, we've been encouraging people to get registered now, kind of figure out what the rules are, see the sample videos that we've posted. And, the beautiful thing, like Alex mentioned earlier, we've got so many programs that people are running. We've got coaches, certified coaches that do this as a profession that have sort of come into the Discord and been a great resource for people to work with. So, it's a really great opportunity to, if you're into powerlifting, if you're, whether you're serious about it or just looking to have fun, it's a great way to get back into it.
Sweet. Last thing, quick rundown of your home gym setups.
Alex, you want to take this one?
Well, I have to bring my computer into my gym, so you go first.
All right, so I am actually in my home gym right now. It is, the epitome of a home gym. It's not in the basement. It's not in the garage. It is in a bedroom. I have a 1-bedroom house with a loft. My bedroom is now in the loft. I'm very thankful that my wife was willing to let us put that up there. So this is about a 10 by 10 room. I'm actually going to turn the camera so you can see it. You can see all of my lovely work shirts over there. And this is
Nice.
it. You can see this really crappy Dick's Sporting Goods adjustable bench next to me. I've got a PR4K, that I basically built a half rack out of it, put a platform on the ground. That's all there is to it. But, I feel like for the space that I've had or that I have available to me, this has been a really good setup. I'm barely able to fit 2 benches in here. I've got a couple of specialty bars. For me, it's the Mars bar and the Texas deadlift bar that are my go-tos on the specialty bars. Rogue Agro bar, Agro 2 bar that I really love, but I'm really interested to see what American Barbell is coming out with potentially in the near future. So yeah, that's my space. It's a little awkward. The frilly curtains on the bay window are a nice touch. They always get me hyped up for a new PR.
She's
Thank you.
beautiful.
Love it.
All right, so I guess I'll take you through mine. So first thing that I like to point out is the flooring I got was a sick deal off of. Oh, actually, the first thing I got to point out, I did house construction since August, so this place is a disaster. I tried to move things, but it was impossible to make this look pretty today. I got this flooring. It's actually Dolomer flooring. They use it for like cheerleading competitions or gymnastics. Some guy was selling them for like $75 a roll. So the whole gym's padded in that. It's like I have silencer pads everywhere. Except for the platform that I squat on. My squat rack is the RM4. I actually have a Williams strength pull-up bar. I don't know if the light's killing that. I have my resistance bands, one of my favorite non-essential home gym items, and gymnastics rings hanging from the pull-up bars. I got this like
Nice.
benching station in the front. I got the half feet and the spotter arms, and then in the back I actually have, that's where I squat. This rack I actually made, it's 2 Rogue Monster Light uprights, and then I put their stalled bar wall mounts in the back to hold it up. I got the Rogue deep dishes, probably pretty dark, tough to see, and then I actually have the Havoc Triad plates over here. The dumbbells have been floating around. And then in the back over here, I got this Matrix. It's actually half of a cable crossover, but the lady was only selling half of it and had the lap pull down. So it actually worked out perfect in my space. I needed just this rectangle, so it worked out pretty well. So that's that. So it's a lap pull down on one side and then a single cable column on the other. And then my favorite wall is right here, barbell selection. So it's actually a custom Kabuki home gym banner that Jared Sherman's kind of helped link us up with. And they actually sell it on their website still, I think. It's like $60 or something. So a lot of us have that. Got the classic war bar at the top. You cannot forget this. This is essential to home gyms. This is actually a grab bag Bella that I got from Rogue. I got the Kabuki power bar, which I use every day. This is the Big Hess fat bar, which is one of my favorite bars to bench with. The knurling on it is great. And what's great is it actually throws you off on your plate math. So since it's an 80-pound bar, I set PRs on this by accident too often. Or really, I don't want to say set PRs. I overshoot my RPE all the time on accident with this thing. Then I got the Cadillac, the Duffalo, and then the Mars bar all the way at the bottom. I know it's kind of dim. That's everything there.
Loaded.
Oh, and then one thing I really want to show you guys. I don't know if you're familiar with Belt Fed Strength, but this guy makes awesome belts. And he actually made me this custom one. It's got like a whole space station exploding and an astronaut kind of losing his mind. He does incredible work, him and his wife, and I just love everything that I've gotten from them. So that's one of my favorite pieces in the home gym.
So
Yeah,
can I just point out real quick? So I've also featured my my beautiful Belt Fed Strength belt here in the background. You can see my wonderful face just staring back at you. I also noticed that Alex and I did not coordinate this, but we are wearing the same
On the
t-shirt.
shirt?
So much love to Chris over at Belt Fed
Nice.
Strength, man. He's super
He's
active
awesome.
in the community. Yeah, man. He is too good to us. He's gone out of his way to donate things to all of our events. And back at the Winter Classic, he's actually a veteran. We decided to raise money for Marine Toys for Tots, and he was super involved with helping us raise money there. So, real good guy. Just feel obligated to give him a shout out because we can't send enough business to this guy. He's great, and we love him. So,
Yeah, he's awesome.
We've got him coming on the podcast sometime soon.
Nice.
So.
Yeah,
Love
he's
to
one of
hear
the best. Super nice, too.
Cool.
Appreciate the the tours, fellas. That was awesome. Did you like tonight's episode? Be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment and taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be part of the conversation. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and get involved in our website for all your home gym content needs. I want to thank our guests, Kevin and Alex, and I'm going to take it to Jake. Do you have anything else for the listeners?
Nope.
We are all done. Bye-bye.